I'm Rebecca, co-founder of the Female Founder Collective, and Allie, I don't know if you already introduced yourself.
I did not. I just said good morning to everybody. I told them I have a flat tire, my second one of the week, which is
Good.
awesome. Like, I think we got a tire problem. But alas, we're here and super excited for the conversation. But yeah, co-founder of Female Founder Collective.
So we're going to have a great chat today, and I don't want to miss anything. So I'm going to read word for word so I don't leave out any detail. But as you may have heard, we are thrilled to announce our new mentorship program, The North, in partnership with Webex, who is contributing mentor hours, tech, and more alongside us at the Female Founder Collective in our mission to support female-founded businesses. In celebration, Female Founder Collective is honored to announce a powerful new grant. So if you need some money for your business, listen up. Created to elevate ambitious women on the rise. This grant opportunity will be awarded to the winning pitch. So we really want all of you tuning in to apply and participate in the live virtual pitch event for the opportunity to receive $20,000. If I had been given $20,000 when I first started, that would have been night and day. So we're thrilled to be partnering.
Reading from this, Rebecca, but I have to chime in that you're
Yes.
also going to you as a judge, and you're going to get insights from Rebecca on your particular business as well as the CMO of Webex. So really huge opportunity there.
Yes, we will give you lots of great advice to help you get to the next level. In our partnership with Webex, we're going to be hosting events, one-to-one advisor sessions, and our 10th house membership programming for a seamless video experience. And Webex by Cisco is the exclusive launch partner for the North and the launch of this grant and the pitch, allowing FFC members to access a wide range of Webex tools and solutions, including video meetings, calling, messaging, and virtual event solutions designed for hybrid collaboration, allowing for mentors and FFC members to connect anywhere in the world. So thank you, Webex, and head to the femalefoundercollective.com/grant to learn more and apply. So over to you, Allie.
All right. And somebody asked, what stage do you have current revenue? Yes, to both of those. But as Rebecca just gave the link out, definitely check it out. And you can see all of the qualifications there. Thank you. And yes, talking about 10th house, very exciting news. We are closing out our cohort tomorrow. So you still have time for friends and family. The code is, and I don't want to mess this up, so I'm going to read it, 10H Friends 22. You can get 2 free months. This is a one-time offer because it's our first time doing a cohort model. So what that means is that 4 times a year you can join in 10th house, which is our private membership community, to get access to other founders by stage, industry, geography, get an incredible amount of programming, events. But we're only doing it 4 times so that you're actually going through the journey with a host of other individuals that are like-minded and eager to transform their business in the same way you are. So head on over to the 10th house.com to apply that.
Sorry, I'm in New York City. The sirens are abundant. So I thought while we have, everyone tuned in here, I could ask you as, an incredible investor, you advise a ton of companies on what people are looking for. How do you tell a story in your introduction in a powerful way when you're actually beginning your pitch?
So I think, Rebecca, you know this all too well, that so much of what founders are successful with ultimately at the end of the day is the story, right? There needs to be an emotional connection. People, even as an investor, if you want to see very specific numbers, you still want to, at the end of the day, connect to the founder, their reason for being, the problem that they're solving. So it's really important to upfront tell the story and do it in a way that anybody can relate to. So it might be that you are starting a business because you had this particular problem. So say I was starting a tire business because I've had, 4 flat tires in the past 3 months. I might want a better solution than AAA. And so I want people to connect to that story. Say that I had 4 flat tires, I'm not sure why, and I found myself stuck on the side of the road with my kid trying to figure out how to do what was otherwise a 45-minute process, right? And everybody can kind of relate to that. So I think it's really important to upfront have something anecdotal that an investor or a customer or a client can get behind. Do you have anything to add to that, Rebecca, on your side with telling your story in the initial days, to retail example?
Yeah, I mean, I think people want to know your passion and like what gave you this strong desire to see a problem and then go out on a limb as an entrepreneur and pitch your company. So the more you can tie back to that origin story and the why and recapture that in the storytelling, that energy that you had, I think people get excited, when they see that spark that you still have it and you're not just like, please give me money because I hope this makes my life easier. And please give me money because I'm so excited and elated about what I'm doing and the solution that I'm going to give you that I can really build this.
Yeah. And
what do you? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
One of the things, and you mentioned positioning the problem. What do you think an effective strategy is for positioning that problem when you're doing the pitch? Because again, we have like 2 attention units. No one wants to hear a long spiel, especially when they have to hear hundreds of these a day. So what is that strategy you feel?
So you have to, from an investor perspective, if you're thinking about it, you're going out and trying to raise funds, you have to size the problem. Greta Rose Von Riel is actually a serial entrepreneur. I encourage you to follow her. But she talked a lot, and Sarah Blakely actually said this too. They talk a lot about how founders don't start out talking about the problem that they're addressing. Instead, they talk about their solution, right? I have a fashion line. Well, why do you have a fashion line, Rebecca? Like, why did you create the morning after bag? There needs to be a qualitative and quantitative way that you're actually positioning. This is the why, and this is the size of the problem, so that as investors are thinking about how big could this potentially get as a business, you're actually telling that story for them through numbers. So it's sort of this combination, right, of here are some big stats, and this tends to be called total addressable market, or your TAM. And that can be found doing a variety of different pieces of research, and you can piece together that research in any way that you want. But your investor wants you to be the expert on that problem, right? Like, they shouldn't tell you, actually, that's a much smaller market than you're making it. So it's being prepared with that data and that information, while at the same time giving very clean stats and sort of contextualizing it in a way.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Sorry, were you going to say something?
I was going to say, you had anything to add about, because I think you and I also get a lot of founders that are pitching something, and you'll ask what problem they're solving, and a lot of times they won't quite know, or they'll say, I'm really solving a problem.
Yeah, I think some people are just blinded by their idea, and they don't realize that it's already out there. It's already being solved in a better way. And so it's sort of finding what is the problem and how your solution is unique. You could say Harry's razors, did the world need more razors, right? We have Gillette and whatever. But they found a unique way to market and solve shaving. And so I think you can always be creative in finding a unique take on that problem.
Totally agree. But you, like you said, you have to be prepared to say how you're differentiated if you're in it already. Like even for a fashion brand, you might be doing it specifically for maternity, right? For Hatch Collection, for example, is one that I invested in. because they are addressing a market in a totally unique way.
Yeah. Someone said here, why is it always solving a problem? I am an artist. I think specifically talking about fundraising and pitching people to give you money. I think as an artist, it would be an entirely different process. And usually artists won't go and raise money. So I think that's why we're talking about solving a problem. As an artist, you solve people's spiritual problems by giving them beauty. So that's one way you could look at it. So what can pitchers do to make their solution stand out?
So what I've seen before, my favorite slides that I've seen in decks and success that I've seen a lot of individuals have in order to raise funds is contextualizing it again versus a competitive set. You need to be, just like with the total addressable market, you need to be the expert on that. You want to get in front of the investor and get in front of any questions they're going to have, to be like, for example, the Harry's Razors question you had, or example you gave. If you think about Gillette, like why, an investor would probably say, well, what about Gillette? You want to be ahead of that and have answers to all of those questions already. Or if you are creating a tech product, right, where you have a number of different features, maybe you're solving a problem for women with menopause, and you're addressing it with an app that has a number of different services and telehealth products. You're going to want to outline every single other company that is in the tech space, in the app space, addressing that specific problem, and outline your feature set, right? What are the different features that you have that are different from what they're doing, and why do you, by the way, need those? From a tech perspective, it's often been said, I think it was Peter Thiel, who is one of the founders of PayPal, actually said this: your product needs to be 10x better to survive. So sort of ask yourself that question: is this 10x better than the other things that are out there?
That makes sense. And when you say, in the pitch, we have to talk about market size, potential, what is some of that key information? I know sometimes people's decks become far too long. There's too many charts. There's too many words. So what is like the nitty gritty of what is needed for market size and potential?
So the interesting thing about that, it's a great question. And I think a lot of founders, like you said, can add a bajillion charts, or you also have people who don't have anything, have sort of no numbers, and you're like, well, the whole idea behind a company, I want to return. So what I typically say, the other thing is you also have to think about what stage you are, right? So if you are in a pre-seed business, or it's your first time going out and fundraising, or you're pre-revenue, you're not gonna have accurate projections at all. And an investor knows that too, right? Like, they're not going to expect that. They want to see how you think. They want to see how you're strategizing, and they want to see theoretically what this business could do. And they want to know that theoretically what this business could do.
Yeah.
So it's having basically assumptions that you're making. And then also, how are you going to get there? So that's more on the financial side. When it comes to the market size of the question, market size is, you can honestly, you can make it up too. And it's, again, an exercise for an investor to see, how are you thinking about it, and what are the potential areas you could go into. With Female Founder Collective, Rebecca, as you know, there's been, could we become a fintech product? Are we a community-based product? Are we a tech company because we want to build a community platform? And depending on that, the company can take totally different directions, but they want to know that the person at the helm has a vision and a goal, and then a roadmap to understand how to get there.
Does it drive you crazy when people on their deck say, this is a $12 billion opportunity? Like, I'm like, you lost me here, because I hate when people take an entire, like, beauty. Of course, the cosmetics industry is a $1 trillion opportunity, but that doesn't, you're going to capture that, right?
It's like the thing I will say, and this is, for the men on the call, sorry, but this is actually factual based off of what VCs have said. Men tend to give these very grand projections that VCs love. Like they're like, great, it's going to be $1 billion business. I'm in. Most of the time they know you're not going to necessarily hit those numbers. They want to know though that you like the potential, like theoretically you could go to the moon, right? Like you have the team to do it. So what I would say specifically for females is be a little grandiose in the expectations. But one nice thing about women is that it's also been statistically proven that they hit their numbers more regularly. And I actually talked to a VC one time that said that they give, when men come in and give their projections, they automatically bake in a 30% haircut on their numbers. Whereas for women, they push it.
Wow.
They push because women by 20%, because women always over deliver, which is an amazing asset. But when you're trying to get money, unfortunately, you have to be a little bit more bold in the assumptions that you're making. So I think it's meeting somewhere in the middle, long story short. Don't be afraid to be a little, reach for the stars and you'll land on the moon.
Yeah, I love that. So typically, when we do these pitching sessions, the one coming up, you only have between 1 and 5 minutes to complete a pitch during a competition. And one of the best ways I found is to create a script or an outline, practice it, time it. What other recommendations do you have for script writing your pitch for what's going to be for us in this grant, a very competitive environment?
So know all of your key points. I think just like this, when you're sitting there and you're looking off to figure out what stats you have, it's very distracting and you can't connect with the person on the other side. And so when you're going through with each slide, I think, just kind of giving the slides that you should have. And then when you can do your key points per slide. Basically, you have your story, right? Who are you? Introduce yourself first, right? You're at this stage, if you are a pre-seed company, it's about the founder. That's the person that's going to execute this idea. No matter how good your idea is, it's about you. So talk about yourself, talk about your story, talk about your connection to that problem. That's all sort of like 1 or 2 slides. And the next slide is, how big is that problem, right? That's the total addressable market slide where you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, this could be $1 billion business if I get 1% market share. The next slide is really the sort of competitive difference, right? So your solution and how it stacks up against what's out there right now, or maybe what isn't out there, right? But it's really, again, talking about that differentiation of what you are providing. And then the next thing is really getting a little deeper into your product, right? Explaining it. And this is also another area where I find sometimes founders they'll have 10 slides about their product. And at the end of them, I'm like, I still don't know what this is. Be as simple as possible. You should be able to answer this in like 2 sentences. It's something that we've struggled with FFC too. It's not easy, but give yourself that test of like, can I answer what this is in 2 sentences? And then the next slide is really about your team. And there was a study by Sequoia that actually found that your team slide was, in addition to your financials, the most important slide you have. Why? Again, it's all about the people at this stage. When you're not, at your Series B in a proven business, they have to know that you can execute on this.
Yeah.
So it's listing these people out. And when I think about the great team slides that I've seen, it's the picture of that person, the role that they're going to fill, and then some of their accomplishments that they've done in the past. Just contextualize why they're the right fit for this.
Oh, I lost you. We lost your audio, Allie.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
back.
I was like, hear me now? Yeah, there was a
Yes.
phone call that came.
No problem.
Instagram where you can just
I
like
know.
silence. But the other thing that I've seen somebody do in the past, which I loved, was that they actually put in a who they are missing and who they plan to hire when they have money, and that's
Okay.
just really responsible approach to how I would spend money. And then finally, of course, the financials. And you don't need to go crazy with this at the end. But then I would say, you know what your 2-sentence script is of like, this is what my business is. And then you have points per slide, and you're using the slides as a prompt, but you're mainly talking to your audience, right? Because that's going to be the best way to connect and also understand what is resonating with them.
Yeah. Well, that is about all the time we have. I think this information has been incredibly helpful. I hope for those tuning in, you apply to the grant. Allie, I know you were going to share some links and some places people can go that they can participate and also join the 10th house, which the deadline is approaching.
Yeah, and we do regular pitch practice sessions inside the 10th house with our members so that they can be next to investors that maybe they're not going to be approaching right now, but who can give them really insightful feedback about how to better position themselves when they do go to market. So yes, the North is launching this fall, which is super exciting. Go to findyournorth.co.com, or follow us on social at findyournorth_ to learn more. We'll have lots of feedback there. We're also going to be revealing the amazing advisors and experts that are going to be participating for you to book time with. And don't forget to apply for the upcoming pitch event. As Rebecca said, femalefoundercollective.com/grant. And yeah, today's last day to apply for 10th house. So use the code 10HFriends22 and check out for 2 free months.
Awesome. Well, I would say it's great to see you, but I see you often and we talk all the time. So thank you everyone for tuning in. And again, apply to the 10th house. This is just the smallest sampling of the value we provide. And there is so much more coming. So it's a really valuable community to be a part of if you are a female founder.
And one quick note, somebody asked, is the North the same thing as a cohort? No. The North is the platform that we are launching in partnership with Webex, where you can book time. It's paid. Initially, we're going to have 100 hours free, but it's paid time with experts across a variety of fields, whether you're looking for somebody to help you on your pitch, to you're trying to find somebody who knows how to build out an engineering team, or who knows how to do product development. All of the above.
Awesome. And someone asked for the code again. It's 10HFriends22, and 10 is the numeral and 22 is the numeral. So 10HFriends22 for 2 free months of membership. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.